So today I have a short tutorial for you where I'm going to teach you how to make this really easy market bag, or a bag you can use for anything really. Hi, this is Pam from Woodcamper Crafts, where all of my crochet patterns are inspired by nature. Before we start, you'll need an 8mm crochet hook, stitch markers, a darning needle, and scissors. In this video, I'm using the Bernat Maker yarn. So this yarn is a bulky weight yarn and it's a cotton nylon blend. You can use this yarn or something similar. Start with a simple slip knot. Insert your hook and pull tight. I'm going to start by chaining 36. Yarn over and pull through. That's a chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. You can keep working on this on your own. Remember, you're chaining 36 in total, and I'll meet you back here when you're all done. I finished chaining 36. Instead of working on this side of the chain, I'm just going to flip it around. And then we're going to start in the second chain from the hook. So just in this one here. And we're doing yarn over slip stitches. So I'm going to start by yarning over, inserting my hook into the second chain, just right there. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through. I've got 3 loops here. I'm going to stick my finger behind that middle loop to push it out to make it easier to get through. And then I'm pulling through all the loops on my hook to complete the slip stitch. So we're going to do that again together. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through. I'm going to use my finger to push out that middle loop and pull through all the loops on your hook to complete the slip stitch. Once again, we're yarning over, inserting our hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through. Use that finger to push out that middle loop and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. So you can continue working on this on your own. You're doing 35 yarn over slip stitches in total. And I'll meet you back here just before the final stitch in the row, and we'll do that one together. So this is the final stitch in the row. I'm yarning over, inserting my hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through. Push out that middle loop with your finger and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. Now at the end of every row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to start row 2 with you to show you the placement of your hook. That is not your front and your back loop. You have to look at it from the top. There's your front and your back loop that you're working under. So we're going to start the row. We're going to yarn over. Remember, look at it from the top. Find your front and your back loop. Insert your hook. Yarn over and pull through. Use your finger to push out that middle loop and continue to pull through all the loops on your hook to complete your slip stitch. So once again, yarn over, look at it from the top, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through. Use your finger to push out that middle loop and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. Now that I've showed you the placement of the hook, I'll let you work on rows 2 to 90 on your own. Just remember, you're doing yarn over slip stitches. You're doing 35 stitches in each row, and at the end of every row, you chain 1 and turn. So once you've finished that, I will meet you back here to show you the next step. I'm starting row 91. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the first stitch, yarn over, and pull through. Push that middle loop out and pull through all the loops to complete your yarn over slip stitch. So you know how to do this already. I'm doing 8 of these in total. I'll let you work on this on your own, and I'll meet you back here for the next step. So I've completed my 8 yarn over slip stitches, and now we're just doing slip stitches. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. There's our first one. Insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. There's 2. So we're doing 19 slip stitches in total. You can work on this on your own, and I'll meet you back here for the next step. I've completed my 19 slip stitches, and I'm going to pause here to show you. There's the front and back loop of my slip stitch. And there's the front and back loop of my slip stitch. And once again, front and back loop. This is important when you turn your work. Those are the loops you're working under. So now we're going to finish the row off by doing yarn over slip stitches in the last 8 stitches. I'm inserting my hook, yarn over, and pull through, push out that middle stitch, and pull through all the loops to complete my yarn over slip stitch. So you know how to do this. You're doing 8 in total, and I'll meet you back here just before the last stitch in the row. So here's our last stitch in the row. We're yarning over, inserting our hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, push out that middle loop and pull through all the loops to complete the yarn over slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. We'll do row 92 together just so I can show you the placement when we get to the slip stitches. So we're starting with our yarn over slip stitches in the first 8. You know how to do this. I'll let you work on this on your own, and I will meet you back here for the next step. We're ready to do our slip stitches. When you're doing your slip stitches, you need to look at it from the top to find your front and back loop, which I showed you on the other side. So we're not working in that stitch there, we're working in the front and back loop here. So insert your hook, and then we're just doing a slip stitch. So you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook to complete your slip stitch. So once again, look at it from the top, find your front and back loop, and then insert your hook under that front and back loop, yarn over, and pull through all the loops to complete your slip stitch. You can work on this on your own now. You're doing 19 slip stitches in total, and I'll meet you back here for the next step, and we can finish off the row together. We're going to finish row 92 by doing yarn over slip stitches in the next 8 stitches. So you know how to do this. You can work on this on your own. At the end of the row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. So we're going to keep doing this sequence 6 more times. So for a total of 8. So that's rows 93 to 98 you can work on your own. Once you've completed that, I will meet you back here and I'll show you the next step. And this is what it looks like when you're all done. So if you did chain 1 at the end, we're just going to take that out. And now we're going to just measure our yarn before we cut it. So we're going to use this yarn to sew the side. So you want it 3 times the length of the seam. So you have enough yarn to sew. And then we're just going to cut this. And then we're going to take the end and we're going to pull it through that last loop. And then just pull tight to knot. Now we're going to do the same 8 rows, but on the other end. So we want both ends to match. So find your corner here and let's get started. We're going to do the same 8 rows that we just did, but this time we're working on the other end, starting in that original chain. So I'm going to grab my yarn here and just find the end of it. You want to leave a bit of a tail. And I'm going to find that first chain, and I'm going to insert my hook into that first chain. And then I'm just going to place the yarn over here and pull it through. And you're going to want to hold on to the end there just to keep it tight. And I'm going to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through. And now we're going to start doing our yarn over slip stitches in the next 8. So working in that same chain, I'm going to hold on to my ends here, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through, push out that middle loop, and then pull through all the loops to complete your first yarn over slip stitch. So there's 1, and now we're doing our second one in the next chain. And that's going to be 2, yarn over and pull through, push out that middle loop. So just remember we are doing 8 yarn over slip stitches followed by 19 slip stitches and then finishing off the row with 8 yarn over slip stitches, chaining 1 and turning. And we're doing this 8 times. We're doing 8 rows of this so that both sides match. You know how to do this already. I just wanted to show you how to get started with that cut yarn, and I will meet you back here when you're all done, and I'll show you how to sew it together and then also how to do the strap. I finished the other side and now we're ready to sew it all together. I've already sewed this edge just to show you, and now we're going to work on this edge together. So I've lined up my edges and I've used stitch markers to hold my work in place. I've already threaded my needle and we're ready to get started. So I've got my edges all lined up and I'm inserting my needle under that first stitch, through to the other side, under the other stitch, and I'm just going to pull through. So you can use any technique you want. You can use the mattress stitch if you prefer, or you can do slip stitches to join, but this is just an easy method. So once again, from one side through to the other side. And don't worry too much about where you're inserting that needle, and just pull through. So the only thing that I do worry about, I just make sure that my stitches are close together. So once again, inserting that needle from one side through to the other, and then just pull through. And I'm going to just keep doing this all the way along. And I'll let you work on this on your own. I'll meet you back here when you're all done, and I'll show you how to do the straps. We're going to crochet cord for the straps. We're making 2 straps and they're going to be 25 inches each. So I have the end of my yarn and I'm just going to leave a long tail so we can sew in the cord at the end. And I'm going to start by making a simple slip knot. And I'm going to grab my crochet hook, insert, and then pull tight. Then we're going to start off by chaining 2. So yarn over and pull through. Oops, there's chain 1, yarn over and pull through. We have a chain 2. So if you look at here we have the first chain and the second chain. We're working in the second chain from the hook. So insert your hook and we're just doing a single crochet. So yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the single crochet. Now we're going to turn and look at it from the side, and you can see that single loop right there. So just in this one here, we're working under 1 loop only, that single loop. So I'm going to insert my hook and we're just doing a single crochet. So yarn over and pull through 1 loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the single crochet. So now once again, we're going to turn, and from here on in, we're working under both those loops. So I'm going to insert my hook under both these loops. And then once again, just doing a single crochet, I'm going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So I have 2 loops on my hook, and yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the single crochet. So once again, turn, find those 2 loops, insert your hook under those 2 loops, and then we're just doing a single crochet, yarn over, and we're going to pull through those 2 loops. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the single crochet. So this is actually really easy and fast to make. So once again, turn, find those 2 loops, insert your hook under those 2 loops. Sometimes I need to use my nails to give it a helping hand. It's hard to do this on camera. There we go. And then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. You have the 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the single crochet. You can work on this on your own. Remember, you're making 2 straps, and they're each going to be 25 inches in length. Once you're all done, I will meet you back here, and I will show you how to sew the straps onto the bag. I finished crocheting the cord, and I've cut a long end here because I need that for sewing it on the bag. And I'm going to just insert the end into that final loop, pull it through, and then pull tight to knot. I've sewed my first strap on the bag so I could show you what it looks like when it's all done. And now we're going to do it together. Now it's time to sew on the straps. I'm going to start by lining them up. So they're just at the end of the slip stitches here that we did. So those 8 rows of slip stitches. And we're going to sew the strap on either side. So I've got it all lined up, and I've also already threaded my needle. So now I'm going to take my needle and insert it just at the bottom row here and put it through so that I can pull it out the back here. And now I'm going to insert the needle back through to the front, but you have to make sure that you're catching some of the yarn here. So don't insert into the same hole. So we're going to come back out the other way. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert the needle behind the cord from one side to the other. And then just pull through. And then we're going to insert the needle from the front of my bag through to the back again. Make sure you're catching some of the yarn there. And then what I'm going to do is come straight up from that stitch, just slightly higher. And then I'm going to do that same technique again where I insert the hook, or the needle, sorry, behind 2 of the loops here. And then pull through. And then once again, we're inserting it from the front of the bag to the back again. And then we're going to just keep repeating this until we sewed the entire strap on. So once again, going straight up, but not in the same hole. And then we're going to keep doing this all the way along. And then under 2. There we go. right there, and then pull it through, and then just keep doing this. So I've finished sewing it now. To make it nice and secure, I'm going to go through those top stitches in the row as well. Then I'm going to come back around the other side here, back through those top stitches, and then one more time through the cord. And now I'm all done, so I'm going to weave in my ends. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to knot it. So I'm going to go through one of the stitches lower down here, and I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to insert my needle through here and pull tight to knot. And then I'm going to just weave in my ends. So normally when I weave in my ends, I just go through a few stitches in one direction. So you can just go under 5 or 6 stitches in one direction. And then I'm going to pull the needle through. And then I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to go back in the same direction. And I'm going to go through those same stitches, but I'm going to skip the first one here. So miss that one, and I'm starting in the second one here. And just under those same stitches. And then pull through. And then you would just grab your scissors and you would cut your ends. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. If you did, it really helps me out if you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel.